What's up, everybody? This is Black Guy Senpai. Today, I am doing a top 8 deck profile from BCS Vancouver. Today, I am joined by my friend who has been on the channel once before. Welcome back, Navutaru.
Hello.
So, Navu, since the last time that we spoke on my channel, you actually got top 8 at teams. What deck were you playing?
I was playing Brave.
So you stuck with Brave. All right.
Brave all the way, man.
I guess this was like the only time for it to do something. So, at least in my opinion, because of like the reset and stuff like that.
That is true.
So, you want to go ahead and give us that sweet deck profile?
Yeah, sure. So starting Vanguard is Blinking Knight Millitus with Alectos as backup. The grade 0 lineup is 12 crit 4 heal. I ran 3 PGs, 4 mandatory Felax, 3 stride fodder, and 1 Soniccgal as a tech. Although I think I should have teched in a Gyoomy instead, but oh well. Grade 2 is the 4 mandatory Livarot, Suleiman, and Septgal. And now the remaining 2 techs, I really wanted to run Big Sword Angel, which is a 7k grade 2, because it really puts in work. And I've seen it put in work, but I just couldn't get my hands on 2 copies. So I went with my next option available that I had, which was Redon. My grade 3s are Heavenly Decree Altmile, 3 of those, and 4 Higher Deity Knight Altmile. And then G-Zone is really whatever you want, as long as you have 2 Fides in there.
Oh, nice. So basically, 2 Fides, 12 other things, doesn't matter after that.
Yeah, and yeah, it really doesn't matter. The only thing you want to confirm is that they have Brave so that half your deck can function.
Okay, so in your deck, is there anything after, because obviously you got top 8, you didn't win, or you didn't get top 4. Were there things that you thought that you might have wanted to change besides the Big Sword Angel?
Other than the Gyoomy and Redon, no, actually. Our team should have gone to top 4. There was a take back in a play which I allowed and I shouldn't have allowed, and that resulted in the game completely going in my opponent's favor, and hence my team got eliminated. But had I called out my opponent for not, taking back a move, then we were in a position to move on to top 4. So it's really my fault that I wasn't more stringent with the rulings.
Yeah, and this happened in top 8, right?
Yeah, this happened in top 8.
I don't know, but to me it seems like in top 8, unless it's your first or maybe your second time, you should know what you're doing at that point in Vanguard in the tournament. It's oh hey, I did this. But anyway,
it's a lesson learned. I'll know to be more strict with ruling than the top 8 format next time.
Yeah, because I believe that you'll be able to get there, especially with the new V stuff, you loving Brave and Royal Paladins in general. So you want to go over some of your matchups from the earlier in the tournament?
Yeah, sure. Give me a second. I can just pull up a quick list here. So round 1 was Brave versus Gears. Second was Brave versus Battle Sisters. Round 3 was against DI. Round 4 was against Gears again. Round 5 was surprise, more Gears. Round 6 was Hellheart 8 Turbo. And then top 8 round, which I lost against only because of the ruling, but the match was totally mine, was Nubatama.
So that was your first Nubatama that you faced all day? Was it the first for your team or just first for you?
Just a first for me. My teammates had versed Nubatama earlier.
Oh man. Oh yeah, what did your teammates play?
The lead player played Gears, and then my other player played DI.
All right. And so like, what was your guys? It's like it was Gears, Brave, and Di. Like, what was your
Yeah.
seedings?
So I guess usually, the mindset is that player A is the ace, player B is the solid guy, and then player C is kind of like the wild card. So our A player played Gears. I was B. I was kind of the wild card because hardly anyone played Brave, and usually because I don't know how well people know how to pilot the deck, but I was B, and then the DI player was C. We kind of mixed it up a little bit.
Okay, but I mean, it's not like you're not a solid player, though, right?
Oh yeah. If I wasn't a solid player, I would have had a lot of losses. Like we won all of our rounds. The only loss we had was in round 2. And funny thing, actually, for all the 6 rounds, all 3 of us either won the entire game or lost the entire game. So other than round 2, where the entire team lost because we got cheesed extremely bad, all 3 of us ended up winning every other round together. We never lost a single round other than that.
So in Swiss, you were X1 personally, and then in top 8, you were just 01. Like that's pretty fucking good.
Like my teammates also went X1 personally.
Yeah.
So no one could say, "Oh, we're the ones carrying you." We all carried our own weight in a sense.
So I mean, maybe people should have looked into Brave a little bit more. Who knows? Brave might have been just that deck that's like right on the outside of meta that could have been great against all the Shiranui and Gears running around.
Well, the thing is, as great of a deck as it is a glass cannon in the end. You really have to know how the deck functions, the ins and outs of your own deck and what it's capable of, and what your resources you have, and also what your opponent is capable of. Because Brave isn't necessarily a deck that can sustain itself or keep you going per se. Mm-hmm. It's more of like a deck that comes in really strong in one go, and you have to recognize that window of opportunity. Brave is very much a window of opportunity kind of deck. Once you see it, you have to seize it, because if you miss it, you essentially die.
So how would the progress of your matches go normally? Like start over from turn up, flip the Vanguard, and then till they get 6 damage.
Well, it really depends on the circumstances in the matchup. Like one of the matchups I had, my opponent starved me of counterblast, and I was at 2 to 3 damage, and I had no counterblast left. So I had to go with alternatives. I couldn't necessarily use Fides, and I knew how to play the deck without being in Brave, actually. That's pretty much how I had to play it. And I had to just hit him with big numbers using Ariel, Divine Knight, Altmile. Another one, alternatively, was a Gears player rushed me down really hard, and he was on grade 3, and I was on grade 2. I had 5 damage when he finished. He had 8 cards in hand and only 1 damage. However, knowing that this was kind of like the final push and I had to make something happen, I took him straight to 6 damage first ride.
Yeah, Fides is not a pleasant card to go up against if you're like, oh, I'll live through this. I have 5 cards in hand. No, you won't.
Yeah, no, it's an absolute BS deck.
Because like Fides, he makes you basically have to drop 2 cards unless you're dropping a perfect card, and even then you're still dropping 2 cards.
Yeah, unless you have a special 1 card PG, but
yeah,
even that. The point is, Fides is pretty darn. It's a dumb card. It's really, really strong.
Could you imagine if somebody used Fides and blasters?
Let's not go there.
Why not?
Let's just not go there.
I mean, you totally could. Fides isn't restricted to Altmile.
Yes, he is.
Shut up. But I mean, that still would be pretty stupid. At least I think so.
You know, blasters have their own kind of BS going on, so let's not just put all our eggs in one basket here. To be fair, Brave is still a bit of a... It still maintains its original identity, which is ping-ponging multiple attacks, and it's a very cost-heavy deck. And there's no way to recover the cost in the deck, which is still annoying. That's why I ran the one Soniccgal, but it never procced. So it's frustrating to play a deck that hardly ever gets its resources back. So it's a one-time use only kind of deck. Pretty much the way the original Vanguard used to be, where once you use up your resources, they're kind of gone unless you heal your way out of them.
Yeah.
It's almost like that with this deck. Almost.
So where do you see Royal Paladins? How do you see Royal Paladins faring in the reboot? I mean, obviously we won't have Brave, but you know.
Well, it depends. Like for premium meta, I think Brave will have a bit of a tough time because that 13k base really screws us up. We're very much a well, I'm going to use an analogy here, but we're kind of like Aquaforce here, where we poke for numbers. We're not necessarily hitting for high values here. And the only way we can hit these high values is if we have a proper field set up, which isn't always the case. Like I've gone into Fides and my only back row that I had was one Felax. So I'm poking for 12k. A single trigger will shut down all my attacks.
Yeah.
And with premium coming up, and they get, if a single trigger happens and they get that 10,000 power boost bonus, the entire deck is done. Like, there's no way I can hit 23,000 as a standalone number. I'd have to boost, and if I boost, my attacks die short really fast. So Brave is going to have a harder time. But Blasters, on the other hand, it's a given. They're going to be good no matter what, because they've been rebooted in G-Era. They became a meta deck for a while, and then now they're coming back for premium and standard.
I mean, technically, it isn't Blasters. Technically,
it may as well be, because even if Alfred is your new grade 3 in standard, he makes for a really good backup in premium for Blasters, other than Exceed.
Yeah, he does.
And Alfred also works with Gans a lot and other strides that they have for the deck, because they're multi-purpose to Blasters and Alfred.
Yeah, but like the only thing that I can think of that would be something detrimental to Royals is your crit trigger Flogels, because you can either use the crit triggers that are like 15k shield or use Flogel. I mean,
well, see, here's where the interesting thing is. You can, with the new introduction of these stronger triggers, and this can also apply to Brave here as well, is that you kind of have choices to make. You can either go for the originals with skills or the new ones, or you can kind of find that balance between the two, right?
Yeah.
For Brave, for example, a lot of my triggers were quite vanilla. I mean, yes, I soul charged them here and there, but I didn't really need to, and they were pretty much vanilla. So even if I do make the switch over to the new, stronger triggers, it shouldn't impact my deck a whole lot too much in a negative way.
Well, let's hope so. Well, let's hope that Royals actually performed pretty well. I mean, they did pretty well in their original series, because we all know that MLB is coming, or at least we think MLB is coming, and maybe we might get Ezer. But yeah, at least hopefully Royals do well in comparison to their counterpart, which is going to be Kagero on release, which seems to just retire everything, and they brought Cruel Dragon like a year and a half early. So,
well, I think based on the reboot, I think the Royals and Kagero are definitely going to be two strong contenders for sure. And the only unfortunate part is that with blasters being the main iconic support, Altmile's obviously going to get shafted now. So
yeah,
I'm hoping that they get premium level support in the future, but I mean, it's Bushiroad, so we'll just have to wait and see.
please look forward to it. But who knows? Maybe it might be like Dayusha and Maelstrom, and forgot what the name of the Grand Blue unit was that got revealed on the stream earlier today, and like we get to see that kind of stuff. Like we'll get to see that kind of stuff with Altmile later. And every clan's gonna get support every year, so maybe by the end of next year they'll be into strides because it seems like they're powering through a lot of their units right now. So
Yeah, I think the second booster that they just released is called the Asia Circuit Champions.
I think so.
So I think, yeah, based on the booster set, sounds almost like they will have about 4 booster sets coming up for the reboot, and they're just going to power through all of the original Vanguard and then move on to their own storyline again.
Yeah, I hope so. Like this is like a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Pretty much.
It's a card fight Vanguard Brotherhood. That's okay. If anybody's listening, please give us a graphic image of that. That'd be great. But yeah, anyway. So Navitaru, you finished 8th. That was your official placing?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Alright. So you finished 8th. The brave connoisseur, if I could say so. Hopefully sooner or later, more sooner than later, we'll actually have you back on the channel. Is there anybody you want to say special thanks to? A mom, dad, friend, secret lover that you might have? Cardfight King? Anybody?
Yeah, just a special thanks to Bushiroad for creating such an amazing bullshit card as Fides, which really let me do well with the deck because I did take Brave to a regionals prior, and I unfortunately got eliminated on the round that decided top 8s because Brave just really sucked back then, and we didn't really have a stride that was good. All our strides really suck.
I mean, you had Ariel Divine Knight.
Yes, but not when half of our deck needs to be in Brave, and we had no way to enable it outside of our starter Alectos. Now with Fides, we don't care. We just drop everything.
All right. So shout outs to Bushiroad then.
Yeah, shout outs to Bushiroad. I also hate them, but shout outs to them too.
It's a love-hate relationship?
Yeah, you could say that.
All right. Well, everybody, this is Black Guy Senpai. That has been Navitaru. So hopefully we see you guys again at the start of the V series. See you later.
Bye.